2019 Grand Cherokee 3.6. Doing the oil cooler housing. Doing a dormant. Super cold out here. I don't know how much of this I'll document, but this is the beginning just with the cover off. Making decent progress. Didn't take the cowl off, at least not yet. It's too cold for that. Just got the intake or the plenum off. It's a lot of plastic stuff. One connection at the back, two on the side, one electrical connector, two evap lines, a throttle body connection, some intake connections. This one is this EGR. I think it's the EGR. Yeah. Two mounts. Bracket up front. And one more for this coolant line. There's a bracket here. That's what I had to take off. Let's get forward. All right, wire harnesses out of the way. Take off cam sensor, like thermostat, temp sensor, VVT, injectors, coil packs, and there's another like a VVT in the rear, like that. All right, so I'm doing plugs as well, so I'll be taking the coil packs out, but I think I'm gonna do that on my way out. Do the big job first. The hardest part was this plastic, between it just being cold and it breaking, some of it breaking. No connectors broke, but just mainly some of the plastic holders just didn't want to move. That was the hardest part. Some of these clips, more so on the coil packs, were tough. Had to back off the first one and then push it. But I mean, you gotta push. I'm talking about hard to get it to release. And if I'm plugging here, you gotta push down on it, push down on the tab, and then pull out. Sometimes I had to use my pick to help get it released. Now we're about to get to the fun stuff. All right, got it up, got it tied back. Saw this little trick on YouTube. I didn't have to take off the cowl. I do see where it would make this job much easier. But I think I'm able to get around it. This is where I want to be. This is where the issue is. I don't know if y'all can even see, but there's oil down there leaking in the valley. I'm cleaning off the rest of this intake manifold before I stick some towels in it and begin removal of the oil filter, oil cooler housing. This is kind of a perfect angle for you to see, or someone to see how I get these types of plugs off. I use a screwdriver on my pick to push, but if I can't get enough leverage to push down on it, this is the actual tab here. Get underneath it, and I might not be able to do it just one hand, but you'll raise up on the tab and then you can release it that way. All right, so we loosen up the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, if I'm not mistaken. Now I can get to my coolant hose back there and begin to clean up. right, she's out. Just gotta get it cleaned up and put back together. That O-ring is definitely fleshed out. All right, pretty tedious, but never would have thought the Valley looked like this with how much oil and coolant was in it. Gonna hit it with some brake clean next and try to get it as clean as possible before we put it back together. Not completely clean, but much better than it was after a nice bit of shop rags. All right, we already got the top on and the filter. Comes with a filter gasket, filter cap, double O-ring for the oil cooler. It fits on like that. And it comes with bolts. Have our underside gaskets to meet the head or the intake. And we got our intake manifold gaskets. I'm sorry, y'all. It's cold. It's so cold. This is how cold it is. This is my water. I'm getting it together. But I'm about to jump in this truck and thaw out for a little bit. All right, I don't know which video I stopped at last. Kind of agitated. I had to go back to the parts store. They gave me a set that had been in once, and one of the O-rings was damaged. Had to go to 2 parts stores to get the right part. Just a mess. But pausing really quick to kind of magnify and explain what happened on this. So I bought a gasket set from a parts store. When they presented it to me, it was open. They was saying that, yeah, we opened it so that you can inspect everything and make sure it's there. I looked it over real quick. Everything looked there. I bought it. And as you can see, I began the job. Once I got to installing the new seals and O-rings, I saw that this one O-ring had been used or tampered, or it wasn't good. I couldn't put it on. So I had to go back to the parts store. That parts store did not have the parts, so I had to go across town to get it from another parts store. Cost me a lot of time on a cold day when it was about to start to snow. So please learn from me. I knew better than this. This wasn't my first time experiencing this, but if you get a gasket set that's been opened, get another one or inspect it very close, very, very close. But got the new lower manifold gaskets in, got the oil cooler in, torqued it down, putting it back together now. All right, lower manifold on, and about to go ahead and do plugs and get the harness back on so that we can wrap this up. Okay, upper manifold on, most of the connectors are connected. Dropping some coolant in it, draining the oil, and checking over everything that I touched. Hopefully we're heading towards the finish. Trying to get this oil in, but y'all can't even see it. It's starting to snow. My bad, forgot to make a video. Got it back running. Running pretty good.